What is up guys, Andy, Forest Team Runner here, and today I'm giving you my first impressions on the Nike Pegasus 36 trail running shoe. Welcome everyone to this first impressions video of the Nike Pegasus 36 trail running shoe, this little beauty right here. Today I want to give you guys my first impressions on this shoe, how I have found it for the first couple of runs, and what I would like to expand on my testing with this shoe moving forward over the next week or two. Really want to put this thing through the ringer. It's exciting me, it's a hot prospect in terms of a trail shoe, and I want to give it my best review overall. So for now, I want to talk about my first impressions, how I found it, put from literally getting out of the box, putting it on my shoe, going for a couple of runs, what I like, what I don't like, and as I said at the end of that, what I'm going to be doing in terms of further testing to really test out this shoe and see what it's made of. So whilst I dive into that, I will put all the technical stuff on screen. You know it all already, but I'm not going to bore you with talking about it. You can find it on the internet. I want to talk to you about why I decided to buy this shoe very quickly. For me, trail shoes have always been something I've steered clear of. I bought a pair of trail shoes back a couple of years ago for a Brecon Beacons trail half marathon that I needed trail shoes for. And I quickly went on the internet and grabbed a pair of Asics, can't even pronounce it, Trabuco or Trageco or something like that, version number 2. And it was like running in hiking boots. They were heavy, clunky, thick lugs, which you need thick lugs in certain conditions, but just overall a complete disaster. It really did feel like I was walking in hiking boots. And in terms of trail shoes, that literally put me off ever investing or buying in a pair of trail shoes again. Now I know there are some fantastic trail shoes out there. I've watched a million reviews on some great trail shoes, but those Asics have really put me off. So what changed my mind to decide to invest in a pair of trail shoes? Well, the marketing of this thing. Nike did a fantastic job of marketing this. It's basically, from what a lot of people have said, it's a road shoe with a trail sole on it, trail treads. And I thought to myself, that could be the halfway house that I need to jump to break back into investing and looking at trail shoes. And I can tell you now, I'm absolutely delighted that I did, and I can confirm, even though I haven't run in the Nike Pegasus 36 or any of the Pegasus range, it is exactly like that. It is exactly like running in a road shoe. So let me go into talking about what I like about this shoe, what I don't like, and then as I said, my further tests that I'm going to be doing in the near future to really put this thing through the ringer. Right, let's dive into why I like this shoe. Well, I love this shoe, to be perfectly honest with you, even after a couple of runs. The first thing that strikes me is the weight of this shoe. The weight is absolutely fantastic. Like for a trail shoe, again, this is exactly what I was trying to find a solution for with my last pair. And this is exactly like, as I said, running in a road shoe. It's absolutely fantastic. You just feel a lot more confident when you're on the trails. Now, in terms of if you compared this to the Pegasus 36 road version, you will notice a few differences in terms of the upper. There's a few more overlays on there. The lace structure around the laces is a bit more protection, but overall, it pretty much is as the road shoe is. In terms of the laces, I've got to talk about the laces. I feel really comfortable with the laces. I haven't quite got the shoe locked down. I haven't yet made use of the extra eyelet here, which I need to, because there was a couple of times, well, I'll get to that in a minute. But in terms of the laces themselves, and obviously running in the Nike Zoom Fly with this, I believe it's flywire stuff that you put the laces through. I really struggled in the Zoom Fly, and still do struggle, to get the shoe really locked down. This is kind of halfway between that. I don't quite have that struggling to lock down, but I get a much more comfortable fit, and I really like them. Again, with the other trail shoes I had, laces were bog standard, and these just feel a heck of a lot more durable and really enjoyable. And I've got to say, whatever Nike put, and as I said, I should have said at the beginning, guys, this is not a technical review. I'm not a technical person. I'm just going to tell you exactly how it is and what I like about it. The cushioning in the heel and the whole sole, the whole sort of foot area at the base, from here all the way up to here, my word, it is so soft. It's like running on clouds. Now, I had a couple of people tell me that they had tried out the Pegasus 36s, and they feel the ride is a little bit hard. It's still cushioned, it's still nice, but it's firm, shall we say. I get what they mean, and again, I would imagine that it's the same in this, but again, for a trail shoe, that's exactly what I'd expect, because I wouldn't want it to be too responsive, because you obviously don't want to feel the rocks through the bottom. So I think that lends itself more to this trail shoe. I'm going to have to get the Pegasus 36 road shoes to do a comparison at some point, but in terms of this thing, it just works so well. I put it on my feet, and instantly I went, I'm going to love this shoe. I didn't even have to run a step, and it was so comfortable. And actually, the final thing that I really like, and you know, I didn't think I would, is this. Now, I thought with the way that this heel cup pulled away from your Achilles, and I know why they do it, is to prevent rubbing and issues around the Achilles area. I thought that was going to be a bit of a nightmare. But it's not. And the reason I thought it was going to be a nightmare was because I thought I wouldn't be able to get such a dialed fit in comfortable around the ankle. But actually it literally just flicks up at the top here. So it has absolutely no impact on the fit of the ankle going in. And that, it was really nice, because when I was running, it just felt like my heel was completely free. There was nothing rubbing on it, and it just felt like there was nothing stopping my foot sort of going through the full range of motion. Sometimes when you have quite a stiff heel counter there, as you push off and you try and flex your foot, you can feel the resistance against your Achilles, but I did not feel that once in this thing. So that, guys, pretty much summarises what I love about this shoe. Okay, so what are my dislikes with this shoe? Or that's a little bit harsh. What am I not getting on with so far? Well, to be perfectly honest with you, I've already alluded to it. It's only one, and it's the locking down along the top. As I said in the beginning, I love the style of the laces. They're fantastic, nice and chunky, and exactly what you want in a trail shoe. But I just cannot quite yet get the whole locking down thing done. And I'm fingers crossed hoping that using the extra eyelet here is going to help that by doing the usual lacing locking down technique. I will be honest with you guys, the whole flywire, I think this is called flywire, that Nike used to hold the laces in. On the Zoom Flies that I have, I've always struggled to get a lockdown fit, and I have, over recent times in particular, as I'm putting more miles into the Zoom Fly, finding that they're actually coming fully undone during a run on some occasions. If I really don't think and concentrate at the beginning of a run to tighten them down too much, if I casually just do up my laces, I do find that they come undone. Haven't found that sensation yet, and obviously I don't expect to with this, because I'd like to think they've improved things, and they're not coming fully loose yet. However, time will tell, and I would be keen to find out on longer runs how much looser it gets. This for me didn't get too loose, but it did get looser. So fingers crossed we can work on that somehow, and hopefully I just find this flywire is quite flexible, and although like I get that it's lightweight and all of that, sometimes, you know, compromise is done a little bit too much for fashion and design and lightweightness, and actually you need something a bit more sturdy and a bit more solid to hold the laces in. I'm just not sold on this flywire. This is the second shoe I've now had with this stuff in it, and experiencing the same problems. But as I said, I think with the whole upper on this, I don't think it's going to be as bad as the Zoom Fly, and fingers crossed when the next Zoom Fly iteration comes out in a couple of weeks' time, they will have addressed that, or it will be better. This certainly does feel better in these early stages than the Zoom Flies. However, time will tell, and we will see. Okay guys, so moving forward, how do I want to test this shoe out? What do I want to do with it? What do I feel is required to give this a good run through and a proper decent review? Well, there are 3 things on my hit list that I want to do with this. But of course I don't want to spam you with a load of videos on the Pegasus 36, so I want to be quite mindful of that. I'm going to try and condense it into 2 videos. I'll tell you how I think I'm going to do it. The first thing I want to do is a terrain test, and this will be a standalone video. I want to take it on a variety of terrains. Yesterday when I was running in it, I kind of jumped sideways over a stream into quite a boggy bit of mud. As you can see, this green isn't going to last long, and I did feel very unsafe underfoot. I slipped inside a little bit in it. Now naturally that's going to happen, even probably with the deepest lugs, but the lugs on this thing aren't the deepest. I don't think they're designed to be. As I said, it feels to me like that transition shoe from road into trail shoes. So I want to give it a bit more of a test, or maybe on some rocky terrain, steep uphill, steep downhill, see how confident I feel flying downhill, going uphill. Just, yeah, a different terrain test. So that's one video I'd like to do. And then the other 2 tests I'd like to do is I'd like to take it on a really decent long run. So at the moment, the most miles I put this in is an 8-mile run so far. I want to take it on a 15+ mile run and see how comfortable it is, see if I get any hot spots, see how I feel. Obviously, I've had none so far, but I want to give it a good, proper test to give you guys the best information that I can share with you. And then finally, I want to do a workout in it. So I might try and combine those 2 and do a long run workout maybe. Obviously we have the grass track here that we use, so I might even take it up to the grass track and keep the video separate and do it that way. I don't know how I want to do it yet, because I think this thing would be quite good. On a wet, dewy morning up on a grass track, road shoes are pretty rubbish, so this actually might be a solution to that. So we'll see. So there are 3 extra tests that I want to do with this shoe, and really put it through its paces. And then of course, as always, I will do the after 300 miles, which was going to be a while, because I'm trying to rotate my shoes these days and get a few more pairs in the bank so that I can just kind of test a few more out. So I'm keen to give you more information on this, but first, initial impressions are a massive thumbs up. As always, since I was blown away with the Nike Zoom Flies back in January when I tested those out, only with the whole lacing issue to be the only downside I found with that shoe. I absolutely love it. This has absolutely topped it again and delivered a fantastic result. I'm delighted to finally put my foot in the Pegasus range of shoes. You guys have been telling me how awesome they are, and I'm delighted, even if it's the trail version, to get into these and have a bit of fun. So there we go, guys. That's it for my first impressions on the Nike Pegasus 36 trail running shoe. It's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? I've got to think about that then. If you enjoyed this video, guys, please do give it a like, share it with your friends, and of course do consider subscribing to the channel if you're new here. I'm excited to do some more testing in this beauty, and I will see you next time. Until then.